The other day on Instagram, I requested all of our pearls to ask this frugal living mama anything, and you ladies came up with some really fun questions. Some of the questions are related to our family's finances, and some are just random questions related to our everyday life. At first, I was thinking I was just gonna leave those ones out, but on second thought, I decided to leave them in. On some level, every decision we make can boil back down to our core values of a frugal living family. From the kind of hair products I choose to use to the worries of my husband's job, they all play a role in the decision we make with our finances. And a lot of times, the questions we ask are because of the struggles we're having in our own lives. I get the same question over and over again from a lot of our pearls, whether it's email, DMs, or whatever. You guys are always asking me, how can I stop living paycheck to paycheck? Where do I start? I don't know what to do next. That is exactly why I created my online course, 30-Day Family Finance Rescue. This is where I teach you how to tackle the obstacles keeping you in the paycheck to paycheck rut. If you've tried to get this figured out before, but keep falling off budget and are stuck living paycheck to paycheck, it's because you're starting in the wrong place. Your finances don't start with the numbers. Weird, right? It first starts with your money mentality. That's why it hasn't worked for you before. Your attitude and habits that you have with your money. Then you need to figure out what your goals are for your family's future. This is the fun part, and it's so important that you have a goal-based budget to help you stay motivated. You need to dream big if you want to get anywhere. Finally, you need a financial action plan worked into a goal-based budget to ensure that you reach the dreams you have for your family. All of these vital steps are what is covered in 30-Day Family Finance Rescue. You can click the link in the description box to get more information or to sign up for the wait list if enrollment isn't currently open. The doors for the course are only open a couple times a year, so you do not want to miss your chance to rescue your family finances. Okay, so let's get your frugal living questions answered. I have my questions right here in front of me on my laptop, and let's just dive in. I want you to pop yourself a bowl of popcorn or whatever your favorite snack is and have fun getting a personal look into the details of our very normal but irresistible life on a budget. How do you know how many snacks your kids will eat in a month? So when I do monthly grocery shopping, the way I always suggest you start is by weekly meal planning, bi-weekly meal planning, and then monthly meal planning. That way, when you start with weekly, you already know okay, my kids will eat this much per week. Then you double it for bi-weekly, adjust, and then you double that again for monthly. And then it's just trial and error. If you run out of stuff, make stuff from home to supplement until the new month comes for your new monthly grocery haul. Time management tips, please. So I'm starting on my Instagram to do time management tips Tuesday, but my biggest tip, if you feel like you are always late for things, running out of time, don't have enough time in your day for what you prioritize, then what you need to do is start by tracking how you're spending your day. So I go into detail with this bad habit in my online course, but what you can do is just with a plain piece of paper, track your time, every half an hour, write down what have you been doing. Were you watching binge? Were you binging on Netflix? Have you been spending too much time on Instagram? Those are probably where I might have been wasting my time. I did this exercise in college and it really opened my eyes how much time I was wasting. So start there and then adjust. Where do you see yourself and the family in 5 years? So our plan as of now, this is our forever home. So we'll be here, but some of our financial goals for 5 years is to remodel the house, so this wall behind you, we're going to push it out 10 feet. Our kitchen, almost dropped my computer. Our kitchen's over here. Move it to this wall, vault the ceilings, and kind of just do a whole house remodel. Our goal is to save $100,000 cash for the house remodel, though we might not need all of that because our house is pretty small. But we'd rather oversave rather than get to a point in the remodel and be surprised with a $10,000 whatever needs to be changed. So that's our goal for 5 years. Do you use actual coupons when using your couponing cash envelope, and why? So sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. It just depends on the sale. So it really should be labeled like our sales cash. I use that cash to take advantage of current sales that are going on. I stock up on what's currently on sale and then use it for the following month's meal plan. If the sale has coupons that I can stack on top of it, then I will use coupons for that. And then just depending on the season of life, if we are trying to be hardcore, because every little bit does add up. I have a whole video on how we do our casual couponing, but every little bit does add up. So if we are being hardcore, then I'll do more couponing in that season of life than I would in another time. How do you fit in self-care? I am not great with this, you guys. Actually, I make it a priority to work out at least 3 times a week. Like my ideal would be 5 times a week working out. Running, I love running, even if it's just a couple miles to just like clear my mind, get some fresh air. And hubby knows that if I'm cranky, he's like, do you want to go for a run or do you need to get a workout in? Because those endorphins keep this mama sane. So I guess that is my kind of like form of self-care. How old are you? I am 32 and hubby is 35. Did you go to college? Oh, yes, I did. I got my bachelor's degree in business management with an emphasis in marketing and a cluster in culinary arts. And I graduated back in 2008. We both went to BYU, Idaho. Hubby got his degree in construction management. He graduated during the housing crash of 2008. Yay, no jobs. So we moved to San Diego with no jobs. He ended up getting educated in heavy duty diesel mechanics, did that for a few years until San Diego Police Department removed their hiring freeze, and he is now a police officer. Oh, which is perfect for our next question. Do you worry about, so this is a law enforcement wife, a Pearl, and she worries about her law enforcement husband when he leaves for work, and do I ever have the same worries? And yes, I do. I try not to focus on it because I believe that we have a God, our Heavenly Father, and that if we align our will with His, we can trust and find comfort in whatever comes our way. Our Heavenly Father knows exactly what we need, and if we try our best to align our will with His, it's not going to be easy all the time, and it's not going to be what our ideal life might look like, but I have 100% faith that if I can do my best to align my will with His, that it's going to be okay. So that's where I find a lot of comfort. What mascara do you use? I'm not exactly sure. I just tried a new one and I'm liking it a lot. If you go to my March grocery haul, it's in that grocery haul if you want to know the specifics on it. Do you make anything homemade to save money? The biggest thing I make homemade would probably be like our sweets, our treats, and our breakfast foods. So I do lots of homemade baking. I don't buy cookies from the store a lot. And then a lot of our breakfast foods I make from home. And I don't buy the convenience foods for that, and that helps us save some money. Where can I get your monthly meal plans? Does it come all filled out, ready to go? So if you go to penniesintopearls.com, that is my website where you can find everything in one place. So my YouTube videos are there, any printables are there. I do have a meal planning and budget toolkit, which is like a template for weekly and monthly meal planning, grocery shopping on a budget with estimated cost per item. So that is where you should start every single time you meal plan based off of what's in your fridge, freezer, and pantry every single time. But I also share our monthly grocery hauls and monthly meal plans. And on that printable, download the PDF, and each of those recipes is a clickable link where you can get the recipes. Do you put extra payment, or where do you put extra payments on your mortgage? I'm not perfect at this. I don't have a solid strategy behind this, but we put our extra $80 a month towards our principal. That's where we put it. I think that's what we should be doing. I should put more research into that. You guys let me know if I'm doing it wrong. How did you come up with the name Pennies into Pearls? So I loved the idea of you're starting with pennies. We all kind of here on our Pearl community start from the basics and the bare minimum. So you're taking those pennies and you're putting in the hard work and you're turning them into pearls. So we all come from maybe a challenging, whether it's your debt or whether it's just your life circumstances, We're all coming from a hard situation and working towards changing our lives for our family and working towards these amazing dreams and goals for our family. So, turning your pennies into pearls. That's where it came from. How are you always so upbeat and happy? Really? Okay, first of all, my mom is a very positive and optimistic, like rose-colored glasses type person. So I think I get a lot of that from her. And also a lot of that comes from my faith, just having a positive outlook on that. If I put my faith in Jesus Christ, that I know things are going to be better. And it kind of just makes you see life and others in a really positive and loving way. But let me do a little side note here. You guys, I am not always this like high energy, happy, crazy person that I'm here on video, whether it's here or Instagram. Just ask my kids. They know. But the reason I do that is not to put up a front, but because I want you guys to be able to come here and feel uplifted and feel happier than when you first got here and have a more optimistic outlook on your future. And that's what you see here. What do you use in your hair? So I use Head and Shoulders shampoo and I use Tresemme conditioner. And I only wash my hair maybe once every 4 or 5, maybe 6 days. And starting on day like 3, I use the Batiste dry shampoo to give it a little more volume and to help with like the oil and stuff. Gross. I'm sorry. Okay, that's the truth. How much money do you budget for date nights and babysitters? So we have a fun budget of $100 per month. 20 of that goes to hubby that he gets to use throughout the month for food, and he does a great job stretching it. So that leaves our family $80. Now, we've had to use a lot of that towards babysitting, so we don't go out as much as we used to. So that's a goal for our dream life, is to be able to have a bigger budget for babysitting, and I would love to hire like a regular babysitter that's like, okay, every Thursday night we know that Stacy's coming over to babysit. Yeah, so that's a work in progress. So we have $80 to allocate towards that. Depending on what's going on the month, we might pull a little bit more into our budget to go towards babysitting and date nights. And typically we pay about $10 per hour for a babysitter. And that really depends a lot on what she's required to do. Does she need to drive here? Is she feeding the kids a meal? Is she putting them down for bed? Were they cranky? Or maybe is most of the time she spent here, the kids are asleep, and so she just gets to like hang out on her phone. So all those things play into it, whether it's a little bit less or a little bit more per hour, but that kind of gives you a starting point. Do you have any money saving tips for diapers or formula? Okay, it's been a hot minute since we've done this, but we always use the Kirkland brand formula, which was a great value. And my kids' tummies always seem to be okay on it. Now, so that's kind of hard because maybe your baby has a sensitive tummy and you have to buy the more expensive brands. Write those brands an email or direct message them on Instagram and ask and say, hey, I love your product. This is the story why we use you. Do you have any coupons? And I will bet you 95% of the time they'll send you coupons to help you save. And you can always stack coupons on top of sales at the store. So that's the best way. And then for diapers, we always use the Target brand for all 3 babies. It worked fantastic. And I would always stock up when they would have their like buy 2 and get a gift card back sale. So that's what we did. Does 30-Day Family Finance Rescue work for single people, or is it just for families? Yes, I did design it for families in mind, whether you're married, whether you're a single mama. But everything in the course is designed to teach you how to do it customized to your own situation and circumstances. So if you are a single person, totally is relatable and will work for you for sure to help you stop living paycheck to paycheck. Have you guys ever thought about living in a cheaper city? Oh yeah, we've thought about it. San Diego, we just have so much family here, and it just like caters to our lifestyle and our hobbies so much here, but oh yes, it's so expensive. Our current goal is working on increasing our income between my career and hubby's career. We kind of will probably reevaluate in maybe 2 or 3 years because our house payment is a huge part of our budget and we need to make that percentage a lot smaller, and that's our current option right now. What does your dream life look like? Oh, I love this question. Okay. I just did a video on like how your dream life can be obtainable. But my dream life, and hubby and I are really close on the same page with this, but what our dream life looks like is staying here, growing into this home, remodeling, paying that in cash, paying off our house completely in cash, having the cash to travel more as a family and as a couple more regularly, and then also being able to retire at a younger age than average. And that really is and being able to do this all comfortably with cash. And that really is what my dream life would look like. Nothing too extravagant, but really, if I sit down and think about it, that is what a comfortable dream life would look like for us. Do you want more kids? And I get a frog in my throat just thinking about this, but yes, it was always hubby and my dream to have a lot of kids, like have a big family. Like I was able to get him to commit when we were first married to 5 kids. We're like, yes, we'll have 5 kids, maybe 6. I would have loved 7, but I don't know about him, I'm sure. But I had C-sections with all 3 kids, starting with our daughter, Kennedy. She's the oldest. I had toxemia. I had a seizure while I was pregnant, and they had to do an emergency C-section to stop me having seizures. Oh, long story short, after our last with Mav, our C-section, we were told that it's not safe for me to continue to be pregnant and with the risk of rupturing. And through prayer, because we do have friends that have had way more C-sections through that, we just don't feel comfortable with this body being pregnant. Is the option of adoption in the future? Maybe, but in this moment, 3 kids is where we're at. How do you get over the guilt of blowing the budget from eating out? Learn from your mistakes. Don't be too hard on yourself and move forward. If eating out is really something that you guys value and have fun doing, try doing things like copycat recipes at home and make them yourself and kind of make like a fun thing out of it at home. And depending on where your finances are at, maybe you bump up that budget and keep adjusting to make it fit into what your family values most. What sinking funds do you guys have? Watch my most recent budget update video and you'll get all the details and the numbers that go with it. And last question, when are you gonna start your house renovation? So I kind of already answered that, but in 5 years, that's our goal. And we're paying cash for it. So we need to save up, and that's the biggest holdup is we need to figure out how to get more additional income so we can put that into savings for the house renovation in cash. Okay, so do you have any more questions that maybe I missed? Leave those down in the comments and I'll be sure to include them in my next Q&A video and maybe even give you a shout out. Did you guys love this type of video? I think it's a really fun way to just like kind of get to know you guys, have you guys get to know me, and it gives me really good insight into what types of topics you guys might want future videos, more in-depth future videos on. Thanks you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.